Welcome to the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado, and this is the starting point for a race across the United States. Over the next 5 days, contestants, and by contestants I mean me, and it's not really a contest, I'm just doing it, are going to race from 5 cities using 5 flights, and over the course of 5 days, complete 5 challenges that you submitted online. I'm using the Frontier Airlines GoWild Pass to complete these trips from state to state. Here's the challenge envelope, it's a challenge one. Now it's time to open up the envelope and see what my challenge is. I messed up. I did this to me. So I've just booked my first flight and I am going from Denver, which is the starting point, to Las Vegas. It's challenging just going to Las Vegas. I feel like it's a tourist trap. It's kind of like not my scene. So it'll be interesting to get to Las Vegas and open up the first challenge and see what it is. I'm also using the Hostel World app. I booked myself a hostel for $30 tomorrow night. All right, with that, Denver is winding down for the night, or at least I'm winding down for the night. I got a flight tomorrow to Las Vegas, so I'm gonna call it a night. Well, I'm officially out of the hostel. The doors are locked until a little bit later this morning. So by leaving now, I have made it a true thing that I'm actually leaving for the morning. Just getting to Denver International Airport. It is 5 in the morning, give or take. Takes about half an hour to get from downtown Union Station to the airport. This first flight's at 8 o'clock. Booked it last night, got the GoWild price of $15. Hostel last night was a bit of a nightmare. So I'm in the Capital One Lounge and I didn't have a good stay at the hostel I was at last night. So I'm gonna have my shower here. So I'm gonna get shower changed, ready for the day, and then I'm gonna go eat some breakfast. So it's not just so easy as going to 5 cities. There are rules to this challenge. Rule number 1, flights have to be booked on Frontier Airlines using the GoWild Pass. Rule number 2, the flights have to be booked the day before travel, so there's no preparing ahead for what cities I'm gonna wind up in. Rule number 3, I cannot go back to a city that I've already completed one of the challenges in, and that takes me to rule number 4, which are the penalties that you all submitted as well. Those are with me too. So if I don't complete a challenge in a city, I do have to complete one of the penalties that you all gave me. On my way to the flight to Las Vegas. Heading to the gate now. We'll see if the bags still fit after one day in Denver. Made it to Las Vegas. I'm learning the hard way right now that there is no easy way to get to the hostel from the airport or even downtown. So I'm gonna have to order a Lyft or an Uber, and they're like 27 to 30 bucks right now. So that's kind of painful. As you can tell, I made it into Las Vegas, and now it's time to open up the envelope and see what my challenge is that you guys submitted online for me to complete while I'm here. Challenge envelope. All right, I've got to get a photo striking a pose next to 3 buildings. I think just a photo next to 3 buildings. This is gonna actually work out pretty good because Vegas is iconic everywhere. There's a bonus. If I can convince strangers to join me in those, I get a penalty skip, which I get to use in a different city. Let's see what my penalty is. If I don't, I'm just gonna draw, that's a challenge. Here we go, here's the penalty one. If I don't complete it, I have to do a blackout. That is tomorrow, while I'm in Houston, I have no access to electronic devices. So I gotta get a bunch of photos with some signature areas. I can do that. I can definitely do that because I'm in Vegas and they build all the buildings to be signature buildings like that. So this should be a snap. In fact, speaking of snaps, here are those photos that I got today. This will be a first for me. I've never used Las Vegas's monorail system. It is hot out here, that's for sure. It's definitely, hot. You can see the sun on my face, the sweat. Just found out, table or parties of one, you can only eat at the bar at Hell's Kitchen, but it is first come, first serve. So I think I'm gonna eat at Hell's Kitchen tonight for dinner because I've never been, and it seems like a really cool experience for Vegas. Fremont Street. Well, that about wraps it up for Las Vegas. Because I didn't get any sleep last night at the hostel in Denver, I'm going to be going to bed early tonight, and tomorrow I've got a super early flight for Houston. Pretty good day, had a good time. All right, good morning. It is 4 a.m. Oh, wait. Yeah, shoot, it's 4 a.m. and I'm at the airport here in Las Vegas. I feel like I got hit by a ton of bricks, and not because I was partying in Vegas, but that first night in Denver was rough. Last night was rough because the hostel mattress was pretty thin. On to challenge city number 2, which is Houston. I was trying to keep the cost of things down on this trip by using the hostels. It seemed like a good way to do it. I'm so tired. That first hostel in Denver, their heater was broken and the room was like 90 degrees. Nobody was able to sleep. And then the hostel last night, not only was like the mattresses were like this thin, there were no charging solutions, no real charging solutions. So I feel like I just finished city number 5 and I was city number 1. All boarded for flight number 2 to city number 2 to Houston. I did a rookie mistake. I forgot to fill up my water bottle before getting on the plane, so might need to get some water. Made it to city number 2, Houston, Texas. It's raining. I wasn't counting on that. I think I might get a rental car for cheap just for the one day that I'm here. So let's go get a rental car. Got my reservation for Hertz in President's Circle, so I think I get to just skip the line. So I'm just gonna grab a car and hit the road. Let's see. A lot of Volvos here. Never had a Volvo. Alright, so normally I wouldn't have rented a car. Houston does have a subway system, a metro system, and I was looking forward to giving that a try. Considering the amount of ground I need to cover today, renting a car was going to cost me as much as a couple of Uber rides. Pull one of those out of the bag. Got the challenge envelope. It's a challenge one. Place to be. Find a hidden gem in the city, according to a local, and go there. I actually was just in touch with a friend of mine who lives here in Houston. They recommended that I go to a place for a burger. It was called... People in Houston, back me up in the comments if I'm wrong about this. Is this the place to go in Houston? Is this considered a local spot? Trill Burgers? Guy said I have to go get a Trill Burger. Okay. And if I don't... Mystery accountant. Ask a stranger to pick a number between 1 and 100, and that's your budget for the day. That would have been really hard yesterday in Vegas. A big part of that was because of the cost of transportation. Vegas is not exactly set up very well for getting around. Sure, there's plenty of Ubers and Lyfts and taxis, but they all cost so much. And when you're being picked up in the hotel zone, in the resort zone, or on the strip, or you're going to Fremont Street Experience thing, they charge you so much more for that. Convenience of the monorail is really kind of only so convenient when you're on the strip. So a $100 budget at the maximum end of that would have really burned me yesterday. All right, Trill Burgers. Even though it's cold and rainy today, I definitely want to get a chance to kind of look around Houston a bit. And there are a few places that I just did a quick search on that are worth stopping and seeing. This place is awesome. This next one's pretty unique. Apparently this house is made entirely out of beer cans. Those are beer cans. That's the beer can house. Apparently it's only open on Saturdays and Sundays, so I am gonna not be able to go inside. It just looks like they took a bunch of beer cans and put them all over the house. And it's got like these draping beer cans all over it, like a veil. And man, when the wind comes through, it sounds amazing. This is kind of like the weirdest attraction because it's on the side of an interstate right here. There's really no good parking to get you here. You have stuff like this F-117 firing a missile against a spider, giant spider thing. So I don't know. There's no walking paths. It is soaked, so like you don't want my feet to get drenched. It's kind of tricky to get to. I think this is gonna be my last stop of the day, and then I'm heading to the hostel. And yes, I am trying my hand at another hostel again, despite having kind of struck out on the last two. All right, it's way too wet, so I decided not to keep walking that way. Otherwise, my tennis shoes would be soaked through. I still have 3 more cities. Wow, I drew a blank there. And I don't want to have soaked shoes and have to deal with them drying out and everything. So it's a cool park. I just wish it had walking paths. So I thought I would show you my accommodations for the night. I'm checked in to the hostel, and I actually somehow got a private room. I don't remember booking a private room, but I have a private room, so that's kind of nice. And it's NASA themed, which is even cooler. So I'm settled in for the night. Houston was awesome. Tomorrow, I gotta figure out where I'm going and get that booked. Again, just using Frontier, so I'm gonna hop online, get that booked, handle a few other things, and then I'm gonna call it a night because I am dead tired. I messed up. I did this to me. I did not realize that March is like a major blackout month for Frontier. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Denver. Denver will be city number 3, and that might just be the way that this ends, is I might just end in Denver. And that's the way it's going to be. And either I spend 4 days there or I continue the trip the way that it was planned. I'll have to figure something out. I'll figure it out. I always do. Always. Well, until tomorrow. All checked out now, moved out. I'll put my stuff in the car and then head to the airport. Through security at Houston, I'm heading over to the international terminal to go to the KLM lounge. All right, it's time for the flight to Denver. That should take me about 10 minutes to walk there, so. I still haven't quite figured out what I'm gonna do with the fact that I'm in a blackout weekend for Frontier. The goal is to book the cheapest flight I can, keep this challenge going, but we'll make it work. We'll figure something out. All right, I'm back in Denver, Colorado at the airport. This is gonna be city number 3. Even though I started here, I didn't actually do any challenges here. Run into the problem of how I'm gonna move forward from here because I'm in a blackout weekend. So I had the whole flight from Houston to Denver to sort of figure out what the plan is gonna be. But it might turn out to be 4 cities over the course of 6 flights, which is messing with my title idea, but anyways. So that's the plan. In the meantime, I'm gonna go experience Denver and we're gonna do another challenge. I think I figured out a solution for the problem with the flights. What I wound up doing is I booked a flight to Orlando because I do need to work my way back to Florida. Tomorrow I'm gonna fly from Denver to Phoenix and then I'll continue on to Orlando. One thing I love about Denver is they've got like 70,000 of these e-scooters all over the place. Hopefully I find one that's got some charge on it. Makes it easy to get around. Denver is city number 3 for the challenge, and so I need to actually figure out what challenge it is that I'm doing. That's a challenge. All right, I've got to find a local event and go to it. Saturday, that should be pretty easy to do. The penalty is hunger strike. If I don't go to a local event, I can't eat anything tomorrow in the next city, which is going to be in Orlando. No, sorry. I'm going to be here tomorrow, so it'll be assessed tomorrow here in Denver. Well, I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to do this challenge. I looked at like the meetup thing. I looked on Reddit a little bit. I think what I'm going to wind up doing, I found a brewery company near here. You can't really see it, called Flight Co. Brewing, and they're having their 5th anniversary celebration today, so I think I'm gonna go to that. And that totally counts as going to a local event, and it saves me from not having to eat anything tomorrow, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna go to that, and then I think I'm gonna call it an early one because I am wiped out. Just getting to Flight Co. Good morning from Denver at the hostel. Today I fly on Phoenix. Phoenix is only for like a couple of hours, and then on to Florida. I'll be in Orlando. I made it. Got my coffee. Let's check out time at the hostel. It's time to hit the road. I've got like most of a day to kill here in Denver. Kind of continue to explore the city a little bit. I'm gonna go to a museum I've known about for a long time, so let's get an Uber. I have wanted to go to this Air and Space Museum for years, so this is going to be super cool. Check this out. I saw something when I walked in. I can't wait to show you because it literally takes air and space, the space part of that, and takes it to a whole new level. So this is the first time I've seen an X-Wing in an Air and Space Museum. There's one in every Air and Space Museum. Well, that about wraps it up for Denver. I am walking now to the train station. The reason I'm doing it this way is because an Uber from here to the airport is about $40. And if I do it this way, I walk to the train station, it's only about $10 for a ticket to the airport. I'm telling you, if you don't have that card yet, get it. It's totally worth it. Just left the Capital One Lounge on my way to A42 for the flight to Phoenix. Good day. It has been a very long time since I've been in the Phoenix airport, and I feel like I've never been in this airport. Like, they've changed so much. Now I'm on the hunt for a place to sleep for the next 4 hours. Most of the seating in Phoenix's airport is like this, armrests between each seat, which makes it really hard to find a place to sleep. But they also have these. It looks like the next flight out of this gate isn't until 7, so I should be long gone before people start showing up. I wound up repositioning to gate E4. And the reason why, one, it's cleaner. The other one was pretty filthy. But two, this alcove here. But if you look beside this seat, there's a little nook. And I'll be able to tuck my bags back there. Kind of keep them tucked away while I'm sleeping. Make it hard for people to get to them. Not that I think that anybody's going to try and get to my bags at midnight in the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. Better safe than sorry. This actually worked out way better than I thought it was going to, because I was reading online on like sleepinginairports.com. So there was nowhere for people to sleep like this. So this is new. All right, I changed my mind. I was staying over there in that corner. I thought that was good. But then I saw these two chairs. In this area here, there's no other seating here. There's nothing here. It's also kind of roped off for the boarding lines. Place to tuck my bags. I already got one back there. I'm pretty happy with this setup right here. It's super comfortable. These chairs are a lot more comfortable than those red benches were. This is gonna make for pretty good. So I'm gonna put the eye mask on from the Capital One Lounge, my noise canceling headphones. I'm gonna settle in for 4 hours until my flight. All right. Set the alarm. Turn on the other ones, 340 and 350. Just do love my layover is what I'm going for here. All right, good morning. About 4 o'clock. Flight boards in 15 minutes. Oh, this wasn't the most comfortable way to sleep, but I did get a little bit of sleep, so that'll help. Maybe get more on the airplane. Bit of a weather delay here on the ground in Phoenix. Weather hold by 45 minutes, which is perfect because it gave us time to let the Starbucks open and I'm able to actually get something before getting on the plane. Welcome to the city of Orlando. Now I gotta go get my rental car. Welcome to Jacksonville Beach finish line for this first ever Run Wild Challenge. And although things didn't necessarily work out exactly the way that I had planned, I still managed to book 6 flights on Frontier Airlines, and I wound up going all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana to Jacksonville, Florida. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Over 99% of my viewers aren't subscribed, and it would help me a lot if you're watching this video. If you liked what you saw and if you want to see more like it, if you were to hit that subscribe button.